You can't be starting all these problems if you cannot solve them. Keonna, back it down, swear to God, it's not enough. If a bird beef with me? With me? Me?
We're gonna be forever.
Since the story time is about to be juicy, let me just tell you what has been giving me the energy to live under these circumstances. Thank you, TEAMI Blend, for sponsoring another video and allowing me to give your tasty protein powder another try. It's so chocolate and rich. My smoothie with this powder usually includes 1 cup of milk, a banana, and peanut butter, giving the body all the right thickness. May I add that I've also been adding this protein powder in my coffee lately, and listen, it's a whole different vibe. And yes, I still have my turmeric cup, and thankfully it is capable enough to hold both hot and cold liquid. If you're interested, definitely save some coins and take advantage of 20% off by using my coupon code keonnajae20. Click the link in my description box to purchase yours today. I drank some this morning, but as far as tonight,
let's get into it, shall we? All I have to say before I start the story time, if you haven't seen part 1 yet, you're going to be lost. So I suggest you go see that first and then come back here for the rest of the tea. Or Pink Whitney in my case. Let me keep this close by, cause honey, I'm still sipping pretty. It's been a minute since I posted the first video. With that being said, I done collected 2 months worth of entertainment for y'all and the bull crap that I had to go through with this bird. Last time I said grab your popcorn, but this time grab yourself a drink. I don't care if it's Henny, Pink Whitney, Bud Light, Corona. Now hold on, I don't know about Corona. You already know how the world is right now, so you might want to pipe down. Y'all know how I do. Yeah, it's real. So, to keep on track, the day after I loaded that first story time about my roommate, the day after that video, I decided to go visit my parents for the weekend. It was an early, beautiful Saturday morning, and all of a sudden, I get a call. And it was from a number I didn't recognize. It was from an area code I didn't know. So at that point, I'm automatically thinking, man, it better not be these car warranty people calling me. Y'all done blocked y'all I don't know how many times. But then I was like, well, wait a second. They only call throughout the week. I ain't never known for them to call on the weekends. So I was like, ain't no telling who this is. Let me pick it up. Y'all, I picked up the phone. It's a woman. And on the other line, she asks, hi, is this Keonna? Yes, it is. Hi, this is Birdie's mom.
Oh?
Yeah, this is Birdie's mom, and I was just asking you if you can please remove that video. Why should I delete my video that I uploaded on my channel? You mentioned her, me, as her mother, and the other roommate. First of all, ma'am, I didn't say either of y'all names. I gave y'all fake names to protect your identity. Here she go. The police has already been involved. Just let it go. First of all, ma'am, how am I supposed to let something go and your daughter still hasn't apologized to me? Plus, she's still being petty around the house. She is trying to be a lawyer in the state of South Carolina, and I will not let you take her future away from her. So basically, you know, I'm in college for a reason too. So basically, you're saying she wasn't trying to take my career away from me by reporting me to the cops? But you came from a godly family. Okay, but aren't we all God's children? We have attorney, and if we have to take it there, we will. Okay, I'm not worried about that. So I see you're not going to take the video down. And ain't. Have a nice day. Click. So that's exactly how the conversation went. The tone I set for Birdie's mom, Mama Bird, is literally how she was sounding. She had this crackling voice as if she was crying on the phone. My thing is, once I got off the phone, it started to hit me like, first of all, how did she even get my number? I ain't never talked to this lady on the phone a day of my life. I only seen her once in person, well, twice now as the story goes on. Secondly, that lets me know right there, Birdie had to give her mom my phone number. And I'm just like, how old are we? Why the freak you gotta go call your mother and get her to call me to ask to take that video down? I wish I might call her my mama. Mama, look, I'm gonna give you my roommate number. Can you please call her? I know she ain't gonna listen to me. Can you please call her and ask her to take the video down? First of all, I'm grown. I don't need to run to my mother for anything. Like, how childish can you be? You are 25 years old, sweetheart, not 15. I got off the phone with her, laughed about it, told a couple people, we all laughed about it. And y'all, like, let me just point this out too. I was being as much respectful as I was on the phone with her. She didn't come at me sideways, so I didn't come at her sideways. I was just throwing out facts. Like, no, I'm not gonna take this video down. And first of all, do you know how many story times people have on YouTube? If you go type in roommate story time, I'm pretty sure it's probably like 300,000 story times with people talking about the horror that they went through with their roommate. I'm not the only one. I guarantee you they didn't get a phone call from their roommate's mother asking them to take it down. And another thing, sometimes I do use my channel as a ventilation. Not only that, freedom of speech is a right.
Also, y'all, I just wanted to point out that for Birdie to try to keep this classy image of herself and not want nobody to know how she really is, she brought more attention to the first video herself by telling her family members to go watch it. I'm not sure if you guys caught it in the comment section if whoever that was didn't delete it, but somebody that knew her personally started talking too much and was about to give away Birdie's identity. Like, are y'all that slow? Thanks for the view though.
Later on that day, about 2 hours passed, I get an email from YouTube. And it's about a complaint being filed against my video. When I seen that, I was just like, ain't no way in the world, bro. Like,
It's really not that deep.
y'all doing too much. Not only that, like I said, I didn't even mention y'all's name. See, the thing is, I know what it is. It's the fact that you and your daughter know that I'm talking about her. The world doesn't know who I was talking about. The world doesn't know her real name. I didn't even say her nickname in that video. I didn't even give Bozo's real name. So at that point, it's just like, you guys are wasting your time for what?
Because they ain't got nothing else better to do.
Basically, the email was just saying, if you have this or that in the video, doing somebody's privacy, etc., make sure you correct it or else we will have to take the video down. First of all, let me say this. I've been on YouTube since I was 17 years old, okay? 2 channels. This is my main channel here. With that being said, you know, I know a lot, at least as of right now. And one thing I do know, YouTube wasn't about to take nothing down, especially if they know I was just telling a story with fake names and I said it on there that I was. I let that email pass on by. The same day, later on that night, it was around 10 o'clock p.m. I get an email from this hoe, and the email goes a little like this.
Keonna, I am sending this email in regards to the video you have of me on your YouTube channel and the issues that you have been occurring in our apartment. I have brought this to my lawyer's attention, who is currently BCC'd in on this email. These issues are being forwarded to my lawyer and to legal authorities due to privacy violation, pain and suffering, harassment, threats, and defamation of character. I am requesting that your current video,
She tagged the roommate video.
and the video from homecoming due to my violation of privacy,
She tagged the homecoming video.
be taken down from your channel, or my family and I will go to the highest legal extent. If you choose not to comply, the matters are completely out of my hands, and all evidence regarding me and my safety will be handled by my lawyer. I have consulted a legal professional, and I will no longer be communicating with you on a personal level due to physical and harmful threats. Going forward, I will be communicating with you through email and my legal representation. Also, this email will be forwarded to the leasing office manager, who I have been in contact with regarding these issues. Regards, Birdie.
I looked at that email, cracked a smile, shook my head. LOL, enjoy love. Like, first of all, bitch, what you don't know, my family is full of lawful people. As you guys heard in the previous video, I have an uncle who is chief of police in the county she was trying to get me arrested in. Not only that, I also have someone in my family very close to me who is a lawyer. With that being said, I did communicate with the lawyer, and I was laughing to it about it, like, how about this, bitch? And I went on and telling her what's going on. First of all, she doesn't have a lawyer because a lawyer themselves would have emailed me personally, contact me personally. And by defamation and harassment, she definitely couldn't get me for that. If anything, I can file harassment on your mama for calling me, harassing me to take down my video. And another thing, you're practically going to be telling on yourself to the lawyer and the leasing manager that you bleached your previous roommate's floor and threw her TV box in a tub full of water. So basically, you're just going to be telling on yourself. How else are they going to try to commit to your charges if they didn't watch the video? So you don't think they was going to question you that? Then when you say, yeah, you did do that, you're going to be looking stupid. And also, you asking me to take down a homecoming video from 5 months ago. 5 months ago? Where was this energy when it was first posted? Where was this energy when you was all up in the camera taking shots? Where was this energy where you was falling all over the floor because you was so caught drunk? Like, girl, no, go ahead, bruh. All of a sudden now you want that video down. Child, please.
Once it's up, then it's stuck up.
Oh, I know what it is. You know that it's people from our university that may have seen you around and you don't want to have that bad reputation on your back so they can know how you really are. Oh, but best believe they gonna know today. Half of them already know. I decided to go back to my apartment that Tuesday. Went there and I was there literally by myself for 2 days. I had a client on that second day, and the way my room was made, I can literally see everybody coming through our complex. Like, the gate was there, so I could see people putting in the numbers and everything trying to get through the gate. So of course I seen the bird in her birdie vehicle come through the gate. Y'all, while I'm in my room doing my client's hair, tell me why this heifer shows back up and out of the norm started blasting music as if it would bother me. First of all, I love my music loud. Bada boom, bada bam. She was the one always constantly complaining about the roommates downstairs under us about them playing their music too loud. It almost came time to a point where she said she was gonna call the police on them because they had their music too loud. And I also remember this one time when me and her were tight. We was driving somewhere in my car and I was blasting some maybe NBA Youngboy or somebody, and I had my music up and loud. Y'all, tell me why out the blue this hoe gets her hand and turns my speaker down. Like, the freak.
Oh, hell no. If you didn't just touch my goddamn radio.
So the fact that she came back trying to be petty and turn her music all the way up like we in a club or something, it was kind of funny. Not only that, me and my client was in the room jamming. Every song she played, we knew. And if I wasn't doing her hair at the time, best believe we would have went out there and started jigging a little something. Remind you, I didn't have to work. I didn't have to go to school. Therefore, I didn't care. Next thing you know, you could tell she was in the living room. She started laughing all loud at the TV. Things she never do. It's like she wanted me to know that she was there, even though I had already seen her little birdie vehicle pull through the gate. Later on that day, my client leave with a fresh hairdo. And of course, she was looking because, you know, hers looked like a bird nest. I goes to fix my food and head back to my room. I ain't made no kind of eye contact with her, didn't acknowledge her, you know, just act like she was pretty much not even there. Tell me why 5 minutes later she goes back into her room, y'all. That's how you know she was doing all that stuff to be petty. The next day I had another client. Once that client left, I just so happened to glance at my $60 pillows, and the day before I didn't even realize she was leaning against them when she was in the living room doing all that extra stuff, because again, I wasn't making eye contact with her. She knew how when I first got them, how I didn't want people to lean on it, messing it up. And of course she did respect it. When she would go in there to sit down, she would simply put the pillow on the side of her. But being that she watched that video of me calling her out, she basically was trying to reach. At this point, you can touch my pillows, but I bet on my mama, you won't touch me. And I also had to realize, like, I don't have to call you out your name. I don't even have to hit you. But that video, oh, this video gonna eat you up. Again, y'all know I'm very observant. I told y'all that plenty of times. So as days went on, I realized something. Y'all know this heifer ended up hiding the remote to the living room so I can't watch TV. Like, first of all, ho, and as I've said to y'all too as well, I'm always in my room. Even when I'm back home with my parents, I'm always in my room. I stay to myself. I'm chilling, working, whatever. The only time I would go to the living room to watch TV with her is when she would ask me to. She would text me and be like, hey, you want to come watch movies in here, blah, blah, whatever. And I'd be like, okay, cool. Really didn't want to at times, but I was like, you know what kind of friend would I be if I didn't go? Went out there anyway. So after we had fell out that first time with the police, me and Bozo had ended up watching TV in the living room one time. At that time, I had been at the apartment complex for 8 months. Out of the 8 months, Bozo has been there and out several different times. So with that being said, out of those 8 months, that was the only time we went to go watch TV. So I guess after we fell out, she felt the need to get the remote in the living room that she doesn't own. The complex honored that for us to share, but she wanted to be petty and go hide it in her room. Of course, that made me laugh too, because what is you doing?
And another thing, baby girl, are you forgetting the fact that you told me you pulled the same move on your old roommate? I figured you forgot. Next caller.
Back with the air situation, as you guys can remember in the last story time, on how she would always try to drop the air temperature down to about 64 degrees when basically me and the other roommates, including her, agreed for it to remain on 70 so that we all can be comfortable. So of course she tried to pull this trick again, leaving the air on
Polar bear coochie
so it can feel like an ice box in the apartment. So it's like back and forth we went, back and forth we went with the air. And on certain times she would think she would be slick and try to change it while I was asleep, in a deep sleep to the point where I do wake up. That's where I'm like freezing cold. And she will also try to do this before she goes to work. So it was at one point, y'all, I just got tired of her doing that. Tired of waking up sniffing, rubbing my nose, having to blow my nose because the whole God is so freaking cold up in here. Especially after agreeing to a certain temperature with me and the other roommate. So what I did, I put prank blood on the thermostat to see if that would stop her from touching it. I was gonna use it for a prank here on my channel, but I'm just like, pranks aren't for me. I can't do it. But anyway, obviously that didn't stop this hoe. So pretty much I wasted my time. So now she's changing the air with a paper towel because her dumb self thinks it's real blood. And then after she changes it with the paper towel, she would leave the paper towel on the couch visible or put it on the kitchen counter just so she can know that I've seen it. Now a couple days later, she ends up changing the air to 64 to 65 degrees before she leaves to go to work. Just so I can freeze while I'm asleep. Now that morning, I was pretty much fed up, y'all. I've been trying to keep my composure for this long. I was pretty much fed up. So I kind of woke up earlier that day because I knew she was gonna try to pull the same stunt and freezing me while she's going to work. And remind you, like, sometimes I'll be asleep to about 9 or 10 o'clock. She leaves to go to work around 7:50, 7:30ish. So that day I woke up a little early. And I was telling myself, before she walk out that main door, I'm gonna bust out of mine. I'm gonna just change it in front of her face. I woke up and she was out the door too fast. I changed it to 70 degrees, ran to the main door, opened it, and she was just now walking downstairs because we lived on the second floor. I looked at her, gave her a look, walked back into our apartment and slammed the door. Shortly after, she came back up and asked,
Is there a problem?
Yeah, ho!
first of all, why are you talking to me? Secondly, you said in that email that when you communicate with me, it was just gonna be through email. You ain't about what you talk, sweetheart. So I looked at her and I was like, yo, why you keep changing the temperature? Because you know you wouldn't be doing this if the other two were here. And she goes,
And you're right, but since you want to be disrespectful, I'm going to keep changing it.
now at first when she walked back in, I was already sitting down because I was expecting something to happen. So after she said what she said, she started touching the thermostat. I immediately gets up. Remind y'all, she's still changing it with the paper towel. I put my hand under that paper towel and basically we just went back and forth changing the temperature right there. Freaking 7:45 in the morning, y'all. We kept changing it until she got tired. Then she threw the paper towel at me. I caught that mother lover and I threw it back at her. Then that's when all of a sudden she wanna pull out her phone and start recording. She started recording.
You know what? Let me get my phone out and record just in case you try to hit me.
Oh, okay, sweetheart, that's how I know you really ain't about that life. She started recording me saying petty things.
Look at this crackhead. This is what drugs do to you. She doesn't have anything going on with her life. Ew, look at her faux locks. Look at the thermostat, y'all. She put blood on it. She made a YouTube video about me. She said she was going to take me on an arcade trip. Honestly, I didn't want to go. I didn't even want to go to California for our birthday trip.
Like basically, y'all, from everything she was saying, her feelings were hurt. Ain't no way in the world you about to be recording me saying all this and not feel some type of way about it.
She also mentioned Bozo too, saying, I know her boyfriend wants me. Like, why are you even bringing him up? It sounds like it's the other way around. FYI, just so you know, Bozo always said, out of all your roommates, that bird is the ugliest one.
Now, the whole time she was doing this, y'all, I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I started acting crazy. Since you want to pull your camera out, if you want a show is what I'm gonna give you. I started beating on the walls to calm myself down. I started singing, clapping, and rapping. I had made a little song, and the song went like,
1, 2, 3 on the go, but I bet you won't fight me though. 1, 2, 3 on the go, but I bet you won't fight me though. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 on the go, but I bet you won't fight me though.
y'all, I was showing out. But my main thing behind all of that was going on at the moment, my point is, you was already supposed to be down the road, on the way to work, as you normally do. But instead, you messed up your own coins by staying there to continue to bother me. Eventually, we made our way to the kitchen. She started mentioning things such as fighting, so I asked her again straight up, do you want to fight? She states as she's recording,
Is that a threat? Are you harassing me?
I told her straight up, call it what you want. I've been waiting on this. Then she yells out,
Hit me!
as she's recording. I told her, you know what? I'm gonna give you the opportunity to hit first. Cause that would have gave me the perfect opportunity for self-defense as what she was trying to do. Sooner or later, as the petty argument goes, of course, time is going by. She starts to realize to herself probably, dang, I need to get to work. I ain't even call in and let them know I'm gonna be late. None of that. So this is what this hoe does. She walks her little raunchy tail to the thermostat and changes it to 70 degrees on what it was supposed to be. And immediately out of nowhere, I just started clapping. Like, wow. Was it that hard? She starts laughing evilly. She leaves. I follow her outside in my robe and with my bonnet on my head. Exchange some words. As she walks to her car, she waves back,
Bye, crackhead.
and I told her I'm glad I was important enough for you to miss an hour of your coins. Have a great day at work, sweetheart. Now, after her turning it on 70 degrees, I thought maybe, you know what? Maybe she's corroborated. Maybe now she gets the point. Therefore, I cleaned out the thermostat with the prank blood. That's all I asked for was fair. Y'all, 2 hours later, this whole shows back up. At this point, I'm over it because I had to remind myself she ain't nothing but mouth. She ain't about it. She comes back with a boy in the living room who definitely was not her boyfriend. They're laughing and going on because she shows him the video of how I was acting in the living room. Now, I'm in my room doing my hair, not caring. And honestly, if it wasn't for that, I would have went in there like she wanted me to and honestly sat right beside that hoe. They stayed up for like 15 minutes and before she leaves, she turns the air back down. Again, I wasn't even worried about that no more because obviously the hoe was all talk. Later on that day, you know, I had just retouched up my hair. I went out and about, did what I had to do, come back to the house. It's still just me. I always have the blinds up in my room because I like the view from my window. So as I just so happened to glance out my window, I see the leasing manager and a police walking towards my building. So I'm like, oh, why I got a feeling they finna come over here. I chilled, stayed cool, laid back. About 2 minutes later, I hear a knock at the main door. I roll my eyes, get up. Oh boy, here we go.
I know what y'all are thinking. Why did she call the cops this time? Listen, I still don't understand why she called them the first time. At this point, she's playing victim. How you call the cops on somebody and you're clearly the start of all this mess.
I opened the door, I had a bag of chips in my hand. I'm munching and crunching. And I opened the door, it was the police officer was a black man. And there goes the leasing manager. Before they even like stepped foot in there, I just looked at them like, I know y'all ain't here because of my roommate. And they go, yep, we are. They walk in, they started questioning me, basically saying like, you know, she's been saying all this and stuff about you, reporting you to the office, etc. But we don't see you saying anything about her. And I told them straight up, well, first of all, like, I ain't no snitch. I'm not about to snitch on something that I feel like ain't worth snitching on. If it ain't about my money, and if it ain't about my life, what's the point of snitching? So the police started asking me questions, and he was real cool too, by the way, y'all. Let me just point this out. And he was just like, when y'all was arguing, like, it wasn't none of that, hey, I'm gonna beat your ass and all this and that, was it? And I was like, nah. I said, but I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna cat with you. I asked her straight up, do you want to fight? And I told him how she was recording me and how she had the camera all up in my face like this. And I actually got it to the police officer, and I was like, look, I said, I'm about to demonstrate it on you. I said she was this close to my face. I put my hand all in the dude's face, and I was just telling her, you know, the stuff she was saying, because obviously when she was supposed to be at work, she stayed there to bully me. Of course, they started mentioning how they deal with roommate altercations all the time, etc. And that right now, basically, me and her both are looking like the suspect in something else he was saying because they didn't have all the pieces together just that yet. Me and him, we started talking, said he was gonna come back with some paperwork that he want me to fill out to tell my side too or whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. So he was like, you ain't got nothing else to do later, do you? And I was like, well, honestly, shoot, I said, I had got hungry. I was finna go grab something to eat. I said, cause dealing with this bird, I just need to make sure my stomach don't flee. They started laughing, etc. They end up leaving. Went to go grab something to eat, came back. Police said he was coming back, he did. And this time it's just him, me and him chopping it down, etc. He had some papers for me to write stuff down or whatever. We started laughing, like he was a real cool dude. All of a sudden when it came down for me to start writing stuff down, I just so happened to peep off our balcony window and I seen Birdie was pulling up. So I told her straight up, like, look, I don't care with you. I don't want to do all this in front of her, so can I like hit you up, text you or whatever and give you my side of the story? And he was like, yeah, for sure, whatever, just hit me up, blah blah. I said, yeah, because I see she finna come back up here and I ain't even trying to be in that type of vibe right now, bro. So as soon as the po-po was finna leave the crib, I opened the door, you know what I'm saying? I told him thank you for everything. And the whole time, y'all, I ain't even know it. There go Birdie. And guess who she pulled up with? Birdie pulled up with Mama Bird, y'all. The same person who was on the phone with me harassing me to take my video down. So immediately, as soon as the officer was getting ready to walk out the door, I already was calling somebody on my phone. I got on the phone, looked at Birdie, her mama, and the police, went to the thermostat and changed it back to the correct temperature right in front of their face. And I'm like, yeah, I want somebody somebody to touch this temperature. And you know, this hoe ain't even bothered to touch it. So I'm just like, dang, did it just take your mama being here? Or did it just take you to know that now the cop is coming to question me about you? Because you ain't all peaches and creams out here.
And one thing I noticed about this bird, she would always try to cap in front of her boyfriend and in front of her family members like she was the sweetest angel ever. Not me. My people know I'm gonna step.
So y'all, for the whole month of May that I was there, she did not once touch that temperature at all. I goes back in my room, gets on the phone, started talking, whatever. Birdie and Mama Bird ends up leaving. And I noticed they would leave every 2 hours and come back. They were like moving things out of her room to go take somewhere else. They made like 3 rounds, and around that 3rd round, I'm in my room all dark on my computer and stuff. Later on, I hear a knock at my door, and it was kind of like a soft knock. So I'm like, yes. They didn't say anything. So I walk to the door and I open it. There go Mama Bird. And I'm just looking at her while I'm in the room, pitch black dark, with my clothes and shoes still on. And she goes,
Hey, UPS came by and they said you signed for it. Can you tell me where you placed Birdie's package at?
I said, oh yeah, certainly. It's on the washing machine.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am. Shut the door. After that, they end up leaving again. And that was pretty much it. Little hoe better be glad I ain't throw that package in the trash.
Cause I thought about it.
Better be glad I ain't throw it in a tub full of water.
Yep, cause I thought about that too.
But I was like, you know what? At the same time, I'm still trying my best to be grown and trying to be the adult here throughout this situation. Pretty much the month of May, everything was back to normal. The temperature wasn't touched, the temperature wasn't dropped. Wasn't no pettiness going on. I want to say the stove was probably still dirty, but again, I wasn't even trying to cook no more at that time. So everything was somewhat peaceful. Now for the month of June and July, I wasn't hardly there, but only maybe 2 to 3 days out of the week. I know I've been out of town a lot lately, handling business. Like for instance now, she pretty much had the place to herself. And I was over everything at that point. I'm doing me and I'm doing good. On times I did come back, I would look at the temperature and still notice that it was on 70 degrees. She didn't touch it. Like walking in the door fresh, she didn't touch it. She didn't change it. Of course, I had no complaints because that was the agreements between us roommates. Y'all, hold up. I'm out and about one day and I get a call from the county. This girl is taking me to court. Like, first of all, why is she still on that? Is she this obsessed with me? It's like she would spend every second of the day thinking to herself, oh, I gotta do something to get back at her. I can't let her get away with this. It's time for me to put my future lawyer abilities into use. Which, by the way, I meant to mention when she was recording me with her phone that day, after she was saying something about I don't have anything going on with my life. At one point she started saying how
I have a lot going on for myself. I'll be going to law school this fall. I look beautiful without makeup. And oh, I'm too pretty to fight.
So you too pretty to fight, but you ain't too pretty to be petty and start all this bull crap for no reason. Pretty girls don't roll like that. Pretty girl mind the business that pays them. Am I paying you? Even every time her boyfriend came over, she would have a face caked up full of makeup. And when I say cake up, it's almost like you can run your fingernail through it and just scrape off all the clay. And they'll just be like, ugh, what the rest of you look like? The court called and said they had some papers for me to pick up. And when I went to go pick up them papers, it had everything she wrote down from the previous month, from when she called the police twice. And when I tell y'all it was nothing but straight up lies, I really couldn't do nothing but laugh and shake my head. Like, all of this for what? Y'all know me, I got to pull out receipts when I'm telling a story. So just in case y'all think I'm capping, and this is exactly what she was taking me to court for. Now, at the bottom of this sheet, it states, if you fail to appear, the relief prayed for by the plaintiff may be granted. And it just has the signature where he's supposed to meet it, how much the person who loses have to pay. Y'all, just a whole bunch of extra stuff that I ain't never had to deal with in my life. I ain't even ever had to go to court for a speeding ticket. So she was honestly giving me my first experience in the court involving myself. Y'all, I kept contemplating, should I go or should I not go? Because first of all, it's pointless, and she's not trying to do anything but prove a point that she actually was taking me to court. Her games was basically getting weaker by the minute. I finally came to the conclusion, like, you know what? Alright, I'll go. This should be fun. 2 weeks passed by. It's time for the court date. I got there 1 hour early because I hate being late to anything. If anything, if you know me personally, I would rather be somewhere earlier than late, especially if it's something I'm scheduled for. Bruh, while I'm in the car waiting on time to pass by, she pulls up 30 minutes later, gets out the the car looking like Madlock with a briefcase, a folder, turtleneck, a blazer, a pencil skirt, and she had on some club heels.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Y'all, I was in the car geeking so freaking bad. Like, girl, you are not in the least teasing. Here I am chilling with jeans on and a cute top. We get in the courtroom, all arise.
Here comes the judge. Here comes the judge. Order in the court. Here comes the judge.
I'm looking like, oh shoot, is this law and order for real? It's just me, her, and 2 police in the room. We had to raise our right hand, commit that we were going to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, or so help us God. So being that we still had to remain social distancing due to COVID, the judge wasn't even there in person. Me and Birdie had our own 2 separate desks, had to be like 20 feet away from each other. And on our desk, we had a computer screen and a microphone for when we had to speak. So basically, instead, we had to communicate with the judge over the computer screen. He pops up and he's an old black elderly man. Of course, he let her speak first since she's the reason we're in here. Now listen to the cap on how she started off.
Yes, Your Honor. First of all, I would like to say thank you for taking the time to have me in here today and listen to these circumstances that I have had here these past few months with Miss J. I really appreciate the arrangement.
This video is basically about why you need to stop kissing ass.
First of all, sweetheart, this is his job. What are you thanking him for? This judge is trying to get his bread. But at the same time, he's also here to have the say-so and who's in the wrong and who's in the right. After hearing that, all I could do was roll my eyes. Now, I'm faced the other way. Again, I haven't made eye contact with this girl since the day she called the police the second time. I'm looking at the judge. I start playing with my nails or just looking into space. Now, the more she read, I noticed that it was almost perfect. Like no stuttering, using big words without hesitating. That right there just made me want to turn around. I turned around. Tell me why this fool reading everything from word to word in the folder that she brought in. The hoe literally wrote a novel, y'all, and read that big for about 20 minutes straight. At one point, I was getting bored. You could even see it in the judge's face that he was getting bored too and was ready for her to shut the heck up. And the cops too. You know, they had to stand up the whole time. So I know they was like, they're like, dang, does this bitch have an off button? Now let's get to the freak what she was talking about. When I tell y'all this girl lied on my name so freaking bad, yo. All that I swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. God, I don't know why you ain't did it, but you should have struck her tail down right then and there. She started saying things like I followed her to her room. Bozo was standing behind me to pull me back. Like, first of all, no, I walked to Bozo. After I realized I was wasting my time arguing with you because you wasn't listening anyway. She stated that I made verbal threats to her about wanting to fight.
Miss J even created a YouTube video about me, threatening me and my family.
Girl, what?
Yo, family.
First of all, I barely even threatened you on that video. Now you want to bring your family into this? Like, what the what? Whole time she reading the stuff off her paper, she had this nervous voice thing going on to where she could have broke out sweating any minute. Now listen to this.
Early this morning, I was leaving my dorm room to go to work. Miss J approached my door with an object in her hand and charged at me. She said she was going to fight me. Miss J blocked me from my doorway as I requested for her to move aside. She dared me to move past her and she said she would fight me. I called the police officer to come escort me. There was not a response. Miss J continues to follow me and get up in my face and violates my personal space. My tires were flattened when I returned to the student housing. Miss J made a statement that she would make sure to fight me all day if she has to.
I can't. Y'all, I can't. I can't. Y'all thought I wrote a book with the notes in my phone? What is this? There's a bunch of cap on this app. Then the little dumb hoe, the part where she was supposed to be filling out my information, where it says social security number, why this hoe started to write out hers and then scratch it out. On the part where it says race, you're supposed to put B as in black. She puts African, A. Did they not teach you how to fill out things like this when you was in high school or middle school? When it came to putting my phone number, the little hoe was too quick with it. She ended up putting her phone number and tried to scratch it out. Listen.
Dum, 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 dum.
Little hoe, are you slow? Now all the lies she was telling in this courtroom. I was trying so bad to keep my composure, because at any minute I could have hit the table and been like, I object, Your Honor. This hoe is a fraud. Then like at one point, first of all, you supposed to just have me for what you have me for, harassment and stalking. Like, first of all, why would I even want to stalk your delusional tail? So she started mentioning stuff on how
Miss J hid my UPS package when they dropped it off at our complex. Miss J had her boyfriend in an apartment smoking marijuana, and she knows I have asthma.
yo, cap on cap on cap. So after she done told her wanna be nominated book story, it's my turn to speak.
Yes, sir.
The judge gave me the floor. Y'all know me. Ain't no cap in keonnajae. I was talking to the judge like I talk to my people and like I talk to y'all. I started off by telling the judge, when I first met this girl, we was on good terms. I was actually starting to consider her a best friend, but I thought that too quickly. At the time, sir, I would have gave her the shirt off my back. That's how loyal I thought her friendship was. Your Honor, I don't trust this girl from a can of paint. I did proceed. I'm basically trying to cover everything she lied about me about in the courtroom. I told him basically on how she was trying to say how my guest was smoking and how she has asthma. I said, Your Honor, she smoked too. She smoked weed too. So I'm not understanding how she can have asthma when she let this stuff enter into her body. Now y'all look, the whole time I'm talking to Your Honor, again, I'm trying to be serious but yet state facts at the same time. I didn't have a book to read word from word. Everything I was saying was coming straight from the dome. So the fact on how she presented herself reading this newspaper article that she wrote automatically made it seem like she was capping from the get-go when she first started telling it. Me, on the other hand, I basically had to freestyle. At one point I thought maybe I didn't come prepared because I didn't do that, but at the same time I'm real about mine. I'm gonna tell the judge what happened from point A all the way to point freaking Z, and I don't need to write down nothing. Now as I'm telling the judge my side of the story, remember I told you when the whole time she was talking, he was looking so bored. He was looking like, oh, done, hurry up. But when I started talking, bro was sitting up like he was watching a BET marathon. He was all into what I was saying. At one point he sat back and he started cracking a smile a little bit. So when he cracked a smile, I was just like, oh my God, like I promise you, like I'm not trying to be funny or anything in this courtroom. I'm really just speaking facts. But the fact that he was low-key smiling, it kind of made me think at another point like, is he taking me serious or not? Like, cause I'm really not picturing the memo right now. Like, I need to know, like, am I doing too much? What am I doing wrong? But that didn't stop me. I continued to say what I say. And I started to cover the fact on my YouTube channel. I was telling the judge, like, look, first of all, I was telling the judge, like, yeah, I did post a video and I made sure that I protect her identity by not saying her name. I didn't even say my guest name. I said, and she talking about I was threatening her family. I don't even know her family like that. Don't know them at all. I said the only person I met was her mother, and quite frankly, judge, I don't even know her mama name. Getting to the point where the police situation happened, I told the judge straight up. I told him, I was like, a month before the incident happened with her calling the cops, I had already quit talking to Miss Bird. Just like this, I said, after I started knowing her being fake and being shady, I kept my distance. I no longer talk to her. I unfollowed her on all of my social media. Sir, when it comes to me, I try to avoid conflict, and that's exactly what I was doing. I told him even a month after her calling the police, I still wasn't talking to her. I told her I wouldn't even make eye contact with her. When I would walk through the kitchen and she would be over there by the safe, I would not look at her not once. I would go straight out the door. And far as her tires being flattened, Your Honor, I don't know what she's talking about. Cause far as I know, I was at home all day that day, and this was the same day that her mama kept leaving in and out the house, and they was coming back and forth from her car. So if her tires were flattened that day, how in the world she's still whipping and riding in that hoe?
Preach up.
I ain't say hoe, but y'all get my point. And another thing, Your Honor, why would I flatten her tires? I wanted to fight her. I didn't want to fight her car. And yes, I did ask her, did she want to fight? Based off her demeanor, I asked what I asked. Pretty much those are the key points that I was pointing out to him. After I quit talking to her and quit giving her attention, that's when I felt like she wanted to start being petty around the house by not cleaning up, trying to call the police, trying to do anything to get back at me because I wasn't giving her attention after I realized the shady things she was doing. And pretty much that was all I had to say. So he then goes back to ask Miss Birdie.
Miss Birdie, is there anything you would like to add?
Here she go.
Yes, Your Honor. I just wanted to say, I have a full-time job. I have a career going on for myself.
Like, first of all, ho, quit saying that. You think I'm in college for nothing? You think I'm out here hustling for nothing? You're not the only one in this world that has a career or has a future going on for themselves. Shut up with that.
Miss J mentioned that it was because of the friendship, but it was nothing about that, Your Honor. Thank you.
You know me. The judge then turned to me, Miss, do you have anything else you want to say? I said, no, sir, Your Honor. I said what I said. He went away and said he'll be back. He was gone for about 10 minutes straight. And then all of a sudden I had thought about it, because I don't think I mentioned, but I did have Bozo there with me as well, but he wasn't in the courtroom because they said he couldn't come in there, and I was going to use him as my witness. For some reason, I forgot. After all this caption and said, I forgot the nigga was outside. So I kind of told the police officer, I was like, hey, you know, I forgot my witnesses here. So is there a way we can still get him to come in and tell his side of the story too, since she was basically talking about him too? Because also I forgot to mention that when she was reading her little book, she was basically talking about how Bozo had a copy of the key to the apartment, which he didn't, stupid. She had also said something cap of the cap is, for you guys that watched the first video, y'all guys already know. At one point she was like,
as I was walking out of my room, Miss J had gave her boyfriend a copy of the key to our apartment. Miss J left one morning and didn't come back. As I walked out in the living room with my robe on and bonnet, there he was.
girl, what? Man. Now y'all know in that last video, that nigga said he was outside. And he said he was gonna wait on me to get there until he went back inside, since I wasn't even gone long. She was just trying to name everything in the book that could make her story sound better, when really, she made herself look like a complete fool. Fast forward, and the judge ended up coming back. When the judge came back, he was just saying basically how he was looking over the papers, etc. The police was giving me the cue like, go ahead and mention that you still have your witness, maybe he'll still take him. I cut him off and I was like, excuse me, Your Honor. And he looked up trying to see which one of us was talking. I said, yeah, it's me, Miss J here. I was like, I forgot to mention that I have a witness here so that he can tell his side of the story. All of a sudden, as he was looking at his paper, like flipping them, he started laughing. He was like,
and what exactly is your witness going to say?
and I was like, he was here on one part of the incident, so I don't know, I guess he was just gonna be here to tell his part of the story. And he was just like,
there's no need for your witness because I will not be granting this restraining order.
Nah, go ahead, do you think? Ready for the revolution? What you say now? Yeah!
and he was just like,
because you said you didn't talk to her anymore, right?
And I was like, oh no, Your Honor, I cut all communications off with her. And he was like,
so Miss Birdie, what is your living situations like right now?
listen to what this hoe had to say.
I still stay there, Your Honor. The leasing office was supposed to move me, but they never did. However, Miss J isn't even there like that.
Oh, girl, like, now you telling on yourself more. Like, first of all, okay, you know what? Like, first of all, you up here trying to put a restraining order on me, knowing we still live in the same apartment. So how is that gonna work? Either way, I'm still gonna walk past you in the kitchen. We're still gonna breathe the same air in the apartment. Both of our cars are still in the same parking lot. Like, sweetheart, did you not think this out? Like, this is a serious question. Did you really think you were going to win this? Like, girl, you telling on yourself. You're telling the judge, I'm gonna put a restraining order on her even though she don't even be at the house like that. First of all, honey boo boo, after this lease is over, we're gonna be more than 100 miles away from each other. You think I'm about to be thinking about you? I don't even think about you now, honey. It seems like you think about me morning, day, and night. You're the one with the real issue. And I see why you had other problems with your other roommate. So after he said that, he pretty much got off the screen. The little lady in the ceiling told us to rise. We rose up and she was like, Miss J, you may leave. Miss Bird, please remain there for some paperwork.
Got him! Got him!
Y'all, when I tell y'all, I walked out that mother-loving courtroom smiling from ear to ear, laughing and grinning. Told the lady in the ceiling, thank you. Looked at the police officer in the front of me. See ya. Have a great day. Looked at Birdie. She was looking so pitiful. Winked my eye. I'll see you later. As I was walking to the door, the other police officer right there, he looking at me like, wow, you did that. Of course. Look, it's me. I win. She lose. Oh, shoot. Yo.
Hey. Okay. Yeah. Go Keonna. Have
a good day, officer. I walked out. As I was walking out, it was time for me to exit the whole courtroom, and it was 2 other police officers, and I didn't know whether they wanted me to go out a certain way. So I looked at them like, hey, which door am I supposed to go out? He was like, well, you definitely just need to sit here. I think they want you to wait on some paperwork. I said, excuse-moi. I said, the lady from the ceiling said I can leave. He was just so shocked. He was like, oh, you can leave? And I was like, yeah. The freak, you thought I lost or something, nigga? He was like, oh, well, if that's okay, have a good day. I said, right back at you. Like, why? As soon as I walked out, all I heard was a big old stereo beeping in the back playing.
All I do is win, no matter what.
Yes, sir.
On my mind, I can never get enough.
Yeah.
Everybody hands go up.
They stay up though.
And they stay there. And they stay there.
Hey.
And they stay there.
Keonna.
At that point, it's time to celebrate. I did feel like I wasted Bozo's time because he was out there. Long as she was reading her damn book here, and then I had to tell my side. He was out there for like a whole hour or 2. Plus we had to wait before we actually went in the courtroom. So I felt bad that he actually wasted his time for nothing. So me and him went to go out and celebrate.
Drinks on me.
Like, now, little hoe, how stupid are you feeling now? Being at the fact that this is your second time wasting your coins to bother me and waste your time to take us to court just for you to lose and for you to come out and have to pay out of pocket. How you take me to court and you lose? Me and Bozo went to go get something to eat, grab some drinks, celebrating, whatever. We went back to the apartment. Little Birdie didn't even show up. Like, wow, is she too embarrassed to show up? Like, what it is and what it ain't. Later on in the day, you know, we geeking, talking about her, laughing about her, like that little hoe dumb, etc. She did all this for what? Nothing, etc. Thinking she all big and bad. And let me say this. Let me get my stunt right quick. Listen, if you watching this and Miss Law School Girl, so you say, which I don't believe anyway, honey, let me tell you something. You might want to rethink your career, because that ain't for you. You're going to have all your clients ready to set it off in your office. So as me and Bozo and that chilling, geeking, etc., we thought we heard something at the door, but we wasn't quite sure. We heard the door slam. Obviously, Birdie had came and left right back out. I went outside, checked the air. Y'all, tell me why this girl done changed it. Now, remember, not a whole month she went without changing it, but now all of a sudden she want to be petty again because she lost. And I'm just like, girl, I don't care, because me and him was leaving that same night anti-freaking way. We just came up here to make you look stupid, and it worked. So pretty much after that, you know, I'm back over the situation again. I'm back to doing me, doing good, whatever. Again, the days I would come back, she was always trying to have her boyfriend there all of a sudden, like, oh, what the freak, are you that scary? Whoa. I paid it no mind, whatever. Stayed there for a few days, kicked rocks. Now, let's just fast forward to some of the other things here. Cheers. Later on in life, I want to say early July, her pettiness starts to kick in again. Ever since she lost, now she want to be a little bolder. I noticed that every time I would have Bozo over, she would start immediately blowing incense around the house. Now, first of all, we're still being respectful even after all of this bullcrap didn't happen. You know, I'm always there when he's there. When he does smoke, he go out on the balcony, been doing his stuff, you know, he was doing. We come to the house one day after we leave the balcony and seen she had 2 cups set up around the house. It wasn't even cups, it was Lysol white containers that had about 2 or 3 incense in them. She had one sitting on the table and she had one sitting in the kitchen. Basically, she wanted it to be visible, letting us know that since he wanted to continue to smoke outside, I'm gonna put an incense out. Like, okay, and don't it smell good up in here? You smell that, bozo? Is that peach melon? It smell refreshing up in here, Bo. Like, girl, we don't care. That's you making the house smell better. But my point is, you making it seem like any type of smoke will harm your body because you got asthma. But if you search something dealing with incense, that's just as worse. So if you want to kill yourself, then do it. Kill yourself. It would even be at sometimes me and him would just go on the balcony and he just there to take pictures of me. Don't be smoking or none of that. And as soon as we come back in the house from her not burning anything, as long as she know we on that balcony, she think we on there for one thing. We come back in the house, she burning more incense. Like, girl. So she would basically do this every day. She would see his car in the yard. Like, girl, what is wrong with y'all? So one day, me and Bozo in our room, we chilling or whatever, like usual. As we was finna leave the apartment, I just stepped slightly out of my room door as he was still getting stuff from the room that he could take with him. As I had like 1 foot out my door and 1 foot in my room door, it's like this hoe had her ear to the door waiting to hear that we come out of the room. Y'all, I sing and rap at the most random moment. I was already rapping. This hoe, look, this is what she did. She comes out of her room, y'all, trying to act so unbothered, walks to the kitchen for no freaking reason and does this. And I was looking like, tell me you came with a chopper, aiming at a nigga collar. Tell me you came with some models, F a celebrity daughter. I'm just rapping. Yo, I walked past this hoe and I had my stunner shades on because we was finna go outside. I walked past this hoe. Tell me why this hoe tries to say, tell me you came with some bottles, F a celebrity daughter. Like, girl, don't do that. Like, now you look stupid and more fake. You think I'm about to acknowledge you, girl? First of all, we ain't been talking. We ain't been on that level no more. So don't be trying to speak to me. I ignored her till it made her feel stupid. Me and Bozo goes outside, goes to the car, and he seen the stupid stuff she was doing. So while we went to the car, he said he forgot something in my room. So I was like, dang, what you forget? He told me what he forgot, and I was like, okay, or whatever. I said, I guess I'll go get it. As soon as I look back, tell me why Birdie and her boyfriend are coming downstairs. Like, girl, the freak. So you planted this to come out as soon as we come out or something? Like, I don't know why. It's like she looked at her boyfriend as he was her bodyguard. And the way he was looking, like he ain't give a freak. And I know deep down inside, I know that nigga be thinking like, I mean, yeah, she probably told him some stuff about me to make him think some type of way about me. But far as her, I know damn well that nigga has to think like she's childish in some type of way. And he's probably just there for the cootie cat, let's be honest. Anyway, if he knew how the way she really act, oh listen, boo-boo. So automatically I tried to hurry up and get out the car. As soon as I seen her and him coming down, and as soon as I got out the car and finna walk that way, it's like they was already walking towards their car. So when I did go back upstairs, something told me to go look in that cabinet that she was looking in when she was trying to do all that stuff. Now remind you, in the last video, or did I not say? If I didn't say, let me just add this real quick. After I did the prank stuff on the thermostat, that left her scared to where, and she told this to the judge too, to where she thought I was going to do something to her food and her utensils, etc. So she ends up taking everything out of her cabinets, etc., and putting them into her room out of the kitchen site. So with that being said, her stuff wasn't in the kitchen for like a good month already. So the way she had went to the cabinet doing all that extra stuff, it made me think, let me go see what's in this freaking cabinet. I went to the cabinet where all her stuff was. Little hoe ain't had nothing in there. So they let you know she was just trying to do all the extra stuff to be petty or cause something. So I'm just like, little hoe, you do too much. Little hoe, is you delusional or is you dumb? Because I think the trick dumb. I continued to go in the room, get the stuff Bozo needed, came back to the car, blah, whatever. Came back that same night, of course, the air situation starts happening again, whatever. All right, let's get on to the juicy part. As if the whole story hasn't been juicy, right? All right, so boom. Again, y'all, I haven't been at the complex like that. You might as well say it was her apartment. That's all she wanted anyway. Like, little hoe, if that's what you wanted, why couldn't you have just got your own apartment? Like, you knew what roommates came with. You never wanted roommates. So the month of July, y'all, I was pretty much happy. You know, I had a lot of stuff going on for myself. A lot of accomplishments starting to happen with my channel, with other things in life. Another petty thing she had been doing after court was opening up my mail, leaving little sticky notes at my door, talking about things she thought she knew about. It really made her look stupid again in the end. Also tried to bring up the fact that I stole one of her balcony chairs. Like, first of all, no, that's what we not about to do. Because when somebody tells me I can have something, best believe I might not have a good memory, but I definitely do remember that. Basically leaving a note at my door saying, you need the balcony chair more than I do. I left her a note back saying, that balcony chair that you gave me looks great on my porch. And the reason why she said I can have them was because she said she wasn't even gonna want them when it came time for her to move out. So I was like, okay, so you saying what you gonna do with them? She was like, well, you can have it. And I was like, okay, cool then, say less. I remembers that, and I hope you do too, since I just quoted that. Don't play with me.
I was obviously into this story too good, okay? So let me just catch y'all up right here. So again, basically comes the last week of my leasing agreement, and during that last week, I was still there only like every other 2 or 3 days, just packing up some of my things as I go, just so I wouldn't have much to move on my last day. I got there Thursday morning like around 2 a.m. Although the lease agreement didn't end till that next Friday, not the next day, but that next week. I had already planned to move out completely that Sunday. So I had a very busy day that Thursday because I had like 3 appointments in 3 different cities that I kept holding back on because of COVID and some other stuff. Therefore, I was running off like 5 hours of sleep. So when I woke up that Thursday after coming in late, I woke up cold, of course. I changed the air, took a shower, got dressed, etc., and was about to start loading my car with some of my things. I noticed that every time I went to my car and come back upstairs, this old bird-faced cock-a-doodle looking heifer would change the airbag down to freezing temperature and would try to run back to her room so I wouldn't catch her by the time I come back up. I changed the bag as usual, and that went on like 3 times every time I would come back upstairs. Around the 4th time, I stayed in my room a little longer before going back out to my car. When it was time for me to come back out, she was already out there in the kitchen, and it's like she was trying to figure out whether to run back to her room. But instead, without her touching the air this time, because it seems that she was scared to do it in front of my face, she played it as if she was going to the kitchen sink. Now, as I'm walking by, I have 2 buffel bags in my hand, and like always, I'm still keeping the same energy and not making eye contact with this idiot. And you know what's crazy? Even after she lost the case in court, I could have been petty around the house like she was doing, but I still kept my composure and was trying to be the adult here still. From the corner of my eye, this bird would not give my face back for nothing. I walked out that door, came back in, and she wasn't nowhere to be found because she was in her room. The last thing I wanted to get out my room was my purse so I could dip to make my appointments on time. In the middle of me grabbing my purse, I got a phone call and I answered it. And y'all, as I walked out of my room door, tell me why she's there in the living room on the couch with her laptop seeking for attention. Again, I'm on the phone, and as I slowly walked by, I changed the temperature in front of her face. I went to the kitchen to grab something out of the fridge. While I'm still on the phone talking, I was getting ready to head out the door. Tell me why this bird was mumbling something out of her beak. I paused and told the person on the phone, you know, hold on right quick. You know what? Let me just call you back. I looked at her and said, say what now? Y'all, this was her literally. Minnie. I said, what? She says it again, as if she was trying to mock me on how I was talking on the phone. And I'm like, talk English. I don't understand that. She goes, I'm going to need that mattress back. She was talking about the mattress that the complex gave us, but being that she had her own personal mattress and she had her own place before she decided to move in with us, she gave me the complex mattress just so I can make my bed appear a little higher. Anyway, I stated to her, you didn't have to tell me that. I know to give you that mattress back. Just because you see me moving things out of my room, today is not my last day. I'm coming back. She goes, oh, well, also, I'm going to need my flat irons back too, because you know you like to steal. I looked at her, started smiling, and I was like, and you know you like to be bothered. She started looking goofy in the face, and from here, make sure y'all have y'all drink nearby. Now let's get back into this video because this is what y'all been waiting for.
She kept talking and going on, and I turned the corner a little bit, and I was like, yeah, acting like I was hearing everything she was saying. I immediately put my hand in my purse, grabbed my camera out, like, okay, you want to record people? A few months ago? Alright, checkmate. I took my camera out. From here, let me post this clip. You're not bothered? Say what? I said I'm gonna give it back. You didn't have to tell me that.
Oh yeah, if you got my flat irons, give me those back.
I don't have any flat irons. What are you talking about? Oh, I did.
Oh hell no!
This hoe knocked my camera out my hand, y'all. And as soon as my camera went back with my hand and it fell, all of a sudden, before I knew it, my fist came back full force. Y'all, I hit that girl dead in her mother loving right eye, y'all. Cause now here's my chance. Here's my chance to get what you've been asking for. As soon as her head cocked back, she came back up and immediately started grabbing my hair. My hair was not in this bun. In fact, I ain't even have all of it done. I had this much of my freaking hair done, y'all. Just the front. Y'all see how long it is, right? Yo, she started trying to pull my hair and I got a hold of hers. So now we in a position like this. And remind y'all, my purse is still on my arm. I have her head like this and she has my hair like this. So now both of our heads are like kind of facing towards the ground. Of course, she started screaming, "Let Effie go of me! Let me go! Let go of me, Keonna!" The whole time I'm quiet because I'm just like, God, you know me and you know what I'm capable of. You know it's just me and her in here right now. And you know I have somewhere to be. Which, by the way, I had somewhere to be at 11 o'clock that morning. And it was about a 15-minute drive to get there. At this point, it's like 10:30. And y'all remember what I said earlier. I'd rather be earlier than late to anything, especially regarding an appointment. So while she's telling me to let go like little hoe, are you stupid? You think I'm about to let you go and you still grabbing on my hair? Girl, bye. Immediately, with her one hand, she tries to yank my head down. Remind you, my hand at the back of her done head. So when she started doing that, I slid my hand down to her neck so freaking fast and I twirled and pinched that mother lover. I know she had a mark and it wasn't no hickey. At that point, both our heads came up. She called herself trying to swing me by my hair, y'all. These 24 inches dress. While she was putting all her focus into my hair with both of her hands, I only had one of my hands in her head. My other hand, bitch, is what you should have been worried about because that was free. I took my free hand and dead on the side of her face, y'all. If only I would have got a picture of her face when she took those hits. After that last hit, she fell to the floor. And as soon as she fell to the floor, it's like I fell with her and landed right on top of herself. Y'all, why as soon as I got on top of her, what y'all think this hoe did?
You will never guess.
The hoe bit me, y'all. I'm like, what the freak? Am I fighting a third grader? At that point, I couldn't even take the fight serious no more. So I'm looking at her like, is that all you got? Like, girl, it's just me and you in here. I could murk you right now. I looked at the time of my watch. I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I got to go get to this appointment. I looked this hoe in the face. Only thing she could say is, while she still got her teeth on my arm,
Don't post that video.
like, what? So is this what this about? You too worried about your image? You too worried that people gonna look at you on my channel and think, yo, that hoe was loco. That hoe was doing too much. So you mad at me because I'm about to tell the truth on my channel. I looked at her and she still had her mouth on my skin. I looked at her and I'm like, dang, do I taste that good? All of a sudden she wants to let go. And I told the hoe, I'm gonna get up off you and I'm gonna give you your little mattress back. But when I get up, don't try nothing stupid because I got stuff to do. As I got off her slowly, I made sure that my left hand still had some type of grip on her hair. So if this hoe was to try to get up, my right hand was ready to open fire once again. I gets up slowly and she caught herself swinging my hair as if she did something. Before I went into my room, I went to go pick up my purse. I picked up my camera, my phone, my keys, put it slowly into my bag. As I looked towards the front door, I guess the little whore thought I was finna leave. She goes,
The mattress.
I said, don't rush me. I'm getting there. I walked to my room door so slowly, swinging my hair, got the keys out my purse, put it into the knob. Before I even unlocked it, I looked back at her up and down to watch my back, of course. I opened the door. I stayed in my room for about 10 minutes. I ain't lying. Like, what you not about to do is rush me, even though I'm already in a rush. I stayed in there about 10 minutes, taking my time. I pulled the mattress out. I took it off my bed, dragged it in the living room, and threw it right there at my door. I ain't even tried to take it at her door, none of that. I just threw it. I shut my door, locked it, put my bonnet back on, dug in my purse, took out my lip gloss, applied it as such. Because at this point, baby, I'm still untouched. Y'all, this girl did not get one lick in. As I was walking out the door and she was struggling trying to get the mattress up to take to her room, I looked back and said, careful what you touch. There's nut stains on that mattress. She has a nerve to say,
It probably has STD on it.
I said, well, ho, if I have it, you got it too for biting me like that. She goes on to say, and started saying some other jibber jabber, and I shut her down while I was closing the door. Yeah, put some ice on that face, baby girl. Shut the door, and I was finna lock it. As soon as I was finna lock it, y'all, she come to the door 10 seconds later, I guess not knowing I was still right there. So as soon as she opened it, she kind of backed up because I guess she thought I was already downstairs. I looked at her and said, anything else? She smirks a smile and shut the door. After that, I left. Although I was already over the whole bull crap that she was trying to put me through, I still felt accomplished for being able to dot this whole I. The fact that this hoe didn't get no hits in. And I promise y'all, if she did, I would have definitely told y'all. Too busy worried on my hair. Like, if you wanted to feel my hair, you should have just said that. Too busy biting on my skin. If you wanted to know what I taste like, you should have just said that. Like, little hoe, you really not about that action. Miss, I'm too pretty to fight, but yet you causing a fight? I told you, don't play with me. Like, I just can't believe all that stuff you was causing and stuff like this. You would think all that mouth you had some hands to back it up. So after finishing out my day that day with all the appointments and errands I had to make, I didn't show back up to the complex until 2 days later. I came back to get the rest of my stuff and I was gonna be out. But before I left, being that I didn't have time the day of the fight, the last day I was there, oh baby, I had all the time in the world. Bozo ended up coming with me. I tried to leave all the heavy stuff there and get him to come help me move the rest of the stuff out. The day I came back, I was so effing prepared. The last day me and Bozo went there, we went there the night before. It was just her there. Y'all know she wasn't really trying to touch the air like that no more, but I did. Even when it was on 70, I put it on 73. And what? Yeah, I'm here and I'm ready to start some stuff. I was ready for anything and everything to go down. We about to treat the day like Bad Girls Club. But since that fight, since you want us to do all this extra stuff on the last week, say less. It's time to turn on petty mode. Me and Bozo started blowing incense around the house. We also started blazing pass around the house. Not giving no freak. You got asthma? Well, let's test that asthma out today. Let's see how long you last today. Miss, I have a medical condition. Yeah, alright. The next day, she want to bring her little boyfriend back. Her bodyguard. But of course, we didn't care about that. The pettiness still continued. Did the same thing the next day. It's our last day here. Also, y'all, I did find the flat irons that she claimed I stole. So here's how the outing went. I made sure me and Bozo took everything out first. We made sure all my kitchen appliances was in the car. Everything in my room was out. Bed set, TV, bathroom decorations, all that. I told her we gonna leave this in here because I got something for that. Left her flat irons in there. Got back up to the room. I took the flat irons. I took a good look at my room. I had some good memories up in here. But listen, I got to get the heck on through. Shut the door, locked it. Flat irons in my hand. I walked to the thermostat. Changed that bit. All the way to freaking 80. Took a flat iron. Wrapped the cord around. Looked at her door. Aimed for it, tossed back like I dotted her eye, and whoosh. I threw her flat iron so hard at her door, y'all. The joint broke. I stood right there for a second waiting on her to come out. After about 15 seconds, I was like, you know what, she ain't gonna come out. So I walked to the main door. Soon as I walked to the main door, I hear her room door opening. So I look back. I'm ready for whatever. Y'all, why this hoe gonna pick up the flat irons and say,
I didn't even want these anymore.
yes, you did, because if you didn't want them, you wouldn't start all the extra stuff the other day. That's what you've been looking for, so there you go. She mumbled some more stuff under her breath. I let the door go. Bozo holding it. And I'm just like, say what now? I got time today. And she tried to speed back to her room. She said,
Shut up, B.
and I said, well, how about you come make me? Next thing you know, she slammed the door. And I made sure I yelled out real loud,
Scary.
and after that, I left the front door wide open. I ain't close it, I ain't lock it, none of that. I hope somebody come rob your tail. After that, y'all, that was it. That was the last time I seen her. The bird was all talk, no bite. Well, let me take that back, cause she will bite the heck out of you. To close out this story, Miss Birdie took so many losses. 1, you lost to trying to get me kicked out of the apartment. 2, you lost to trying to take me to court. And 3, you lost the fight, baby girl. Is that what the DMV teaching you? Moral of the story is, everything from the first story time to this one could have been avoided if you would have just mind your business. Somebody in the comments in the other video was stating how one day I'll look back at this and laugh and realize it was stupid. No, honey. See, this girl done did too much, trying to get the feds involved and blah, blah, this and that. Nah, I ain't gonna forget that. She out of here 5,000. And I don't want y'all to be taking this story times as if I try to condone fights and everything like that. Like, no, it's not even like that. My thing is, like I've told y'all before and you guys have seen, I'm such a lovable, down-to-earth, friendly type of person. Again, I try to avoid conflict. As you guys have seen, I could have been docked this girl in the face, but growth. To keep myself from doing that, I kept my distance. But it's like, you can only take but so much after somebody keep trying. Until she knocked my camera out my hand. This is my pride and joy. This is how I talk to you guys. That's like she knocked my passion out of my heart. And I wasn't going for that. Like, first of all, I ain't even try to knock your phone out your hand when you was recording me that day. And you was doing more than what I was doing. So if anything, if you already had it in your head that, okay, I'm about to get up and knock this camera out her hand, if anything, you should have just hit me first, right then and there. But again, you stupid, you don't think. Because if you got the energy to do that, you might as well aim for my face neck. Like, listen, you can't be starting all these problems if you cannot solve them. See, now I'm backing down, swear to God, it's not enough. If a bird beef with me, we gonna be forever. All right, y'all, I'm done with this story time. I'm tired of talking about this bird hoe. Everything is behind me. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and start the chitter chatter in the comment section, and I will see you guys in my next one. Peace. Be safe. Don't fight nobody unless they come at you. Love you.